Now folks, the photo we're going to be taking a look at in this video is the photo you've seen in the title page. An Apollo 11 LEM supposed to be just landed on the moon. Here's the photo coming up. Yes, there you are folks. A photo that we're going to be proving that it's the most ridiculous photo throughout the whole of the Apollo program. Now, if you look at the number on this photo, it's AS11-40-5863-69. Okay, now that 69 is important. Now, folks, does any of you know the reason for that -69 on the end of that photo number? There's no other photo in Apollo that's got it. Only that one. And I can tell you why it's there. Now, the story behind this photo is one of their photo staff named Engeveld. NASA are admitting that this photo is a composited photo made up by this Engeveld. He just wanted to satisfy his curiosity as to what the LEM would look like on the moon. So he took bits of this one, bits of that one, put them all together to make up a complete photo. Totally ridiculous, because if he wanted to see what the LEM looked like on the moon, wouldn't Neil have taken a photo if they went to the moon? Why didn't he just look at that one? Or are they trying to admit they haven't got one of Neil taking such a photo? Total ridiculous, trying to cover their tracks because too many, like the brilliant EXPATTAFFY, noticed that that photo was 100% fake, folks. Now, that cock and bull story, if that Engeveld made it up just for fun, ask yourself, why have they got it in their photo gallery? It shouldn't be there, should it? No, there should only be genuine photos in that gallery. Total lies from NASA again, folks. And you can see the reason for it when I expose all the errors in this photo. Now, what you're going to get here, folks, from the Nutters Cornelius crew, Joan Evans and her other sock puppet Phase 52 is outdated crap that's been disproved years and years ago. Well, it's not outdated crap. It hasn't been disproved, as you were going to see. Now, they're going to be asking, why am I bringing this photo up again? Well, there's numbers of reasons for it, folks. There's a lot of reasons for bringing it up. One of them is videos way back. They sort of get chucked back of the queue by YouTube. Nobody gets to see them. Typical example of this is with Bart Sabrell. It was his video. He brought out a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. And Bart have just showed in another video, you type in a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, and his video, which should be top of the queue, is way, way down, maybe about 20 or 30 down. There's loads of others that have got parts of his title in. His is chucked to the back of the queue. That's what happens over time. Now, one YouTuber said the way to get around that is bring the videos up to date by just changing the thumbnail. But I don't want to do that because this video here now is going to reveal a hell of a lot more errors than I discovered 6 years ago. A hell of a lot. Irrefutable evidence proving it's fake, and it's the most ridiculous photo in the Apollo series. Now, what I'm going to start with, folks, is show you this photo again, and then I'll show it again with it brightened up a bit, and then again with it brightened up more. And you tell me if you've ever seen a photo that looks so damn ridiculous as this photo when it's brightened up. take a look at some different stages of brightness with this photo, folks. Okay, folks, here's the photo as it is shown in their gallery. Okay, here it is, one full setting of brightness. Wow, folks, look at that with two full settings of brightening up. Anybody ever seen a photo so ridiculous? And there's a lot more to come. Now, folks, take a look at the bottom crop section. How the hell is some parts of these black shadows brightened up to orange, and some parts of the shadows haven't brightened up at all? Very, very strange, don't you think? Okay, folks, the first thing I want you to notice with this photo here is it's been photoshopped. And photoshopped in 2008. Take a look at it. There you are, folks. There's the first thing to notice about this photo. It's been photoshopped, and photoshopped in 2008. Now, the numbskulls, Cornelius Crew, Joan Evans, and Brian Pop Robson states, that doesn't mean anything. Photoshop doesn't mean the photo is fake or anything, you stupid idiot. Well, we'll see. Let's see what else this photo has got to offer, shall we? Okay, folks. Now, like I said, I analysed this photo about 6 years ago. And as I've mentioned, I can discover around about 18 anomalies in this photo. And let me say now, I can assure you they are not errors. They are all deliberate whistleblowers' clues. They are not errors. Now, some of you will be asking, as usual, well, why am I doing it again? Well, like I said, it's because of new discoveries. What I have discovered in this photo here now, folks, is a brand new clue. A clue that's going to destroy all of the photos in Apollo. It's in the landscape, folks. A clue that's in the landscape. And it's in just about 80% of Apollo photos. I leave that special clue until the second half of this video because it takes a lot of explaining and it'll take up more of the video space, and it requires example, a lot more photos to confirm what I'm saying. So what we'll do now, we'll get down to the nitty-gritty, the easiest clues that I showed 6 years ago. Let's take a close look at this photo, folks. Okay, folks, what you can see I've done with this photo here, I've inserted 4 pink arrows on the left bottom corner. Now I chose pink so that Bertie Slack can easily recognize them. It's one of his favourite colours for his panties. Okay, what we're going to be looking at here is 4 suspicious shadows. Now, just remember, before they claim they landed on the moon, the only objects that could cast a shadow would be rocks. Okay? Well, we've got 4 shadows here we are going to closely examine. Okay, folks. Now, just remember, before they claim they landed on the moon, there is only one thing that can cast a shadow on the moon, and that is a rock. There was nothing else there, just a rock. And bearing in mind, you cannot have a rock without a shadow, and you cannot have a shadow without an obstructing object, such as a rock. Okay? You've got to have the two together or nothing. Now, what I'm going to show you here is something else I missed 6 years ago, and that is the direction of light. Let's take a look at these shadows here. And just remember, all shadows by NASA are shown as black. So what we've got here is considered to be a shadow. Let's take a closer look at them, shall we? Okay, folks, look what we've got here now. We've got a black shadow that appears to be a bird with a tail, a head, a beak, a pair of wings and 2 legs under him. And he's perched on some creature that looks like an armadillo. It's got a ribbed back, it's got a head, it's got a snout, and it's got feet sticking forward, front feet sticking forward, folks. A bird perched on the back of an armadillo. Here you are, slightly enlarged for you to get a better look. Now, folks, there's one case of earth animals or creatures being put into this photo. There is more coming up. But let me tell you, I'm going to show you now something I really missed 6 years ago when dealing with this before, and that is light direction. A clue that definitely means it's deliberately inserted by the whistleblowers. Okay, folks, here is something very important that I missed 6 years ago. Now, the top arrow shows the light direction for this Apollo 11 photo. Okay, it's going from right to left. Now, this object, this black object, which is supposed to be a shadow, there's nothing at point A to cast that shadow because that's where an object would have to be, with the light going the direction of arrow A. That's the point where the object would have to be, but an object in that position could not cast a shadow the shape of what we've got here, a bird on the back of an armadillo, because that is a side shadow, a side view. And to create such a shadow, an object would have to be at the point B and the light going in the direction of arrow B. Impossible. There's the thing I missed years ago, the light direction, and that must be an extra clue for these objects you are going to see, these animals, which must be deliberately inserted by the whistleblower. The light direction is a part of the clue, and it's the same for all the other animals and creatures you are going to see. Now look at this one, folks. Just remember, the sun is supposed to be going from right to left. Now this shadow here, what's casting it? There's nothing to the right of it. And if you look at it carefully, it's a round body, it's a long, small tail, and it's got a snout, and it's got a little paw at the front. It's the image of a rat. And for those who disagree, let me ask you, show me the object that's casting the shadow, because there is none. And what I'm going to show you in here, folks, there is another very, very serious clue. And that is, directly above that rat, the crater. I'm going to prove to you that that crater appears around about 600 times throughout Apollo. Okay, folks, let's take a look at 2 more Earth creatures, shall we? One very interesting. It must be a clue to them saying they landed in the Sea of Tranquility, because one clue happens to be a seahorse. There you are, folks. Now just remember what I said. This photo was photoshopped in 2008. And just remember what I said about you can't have a shadow without an obstructing object. And just remember what I said, the light here is going from right to left. But there's nothing obstructing that black shadow, the top arrow. And look what it looks like. It looks like a seahorse. It's got hairs down the back. You can see a very faint white eye. You can see a long snout like a seahorse has got. And you can see big fat lips on the end of that snout, like a seahorse have got. Very appropriate, considering they claim they landed in the Sea of Tranquility. And And look at the bottom arrow, folks. Look what you've got there. You've got a mongoose. You've got the body of a mongoose. You've got the head. You've got the nose. You've got an eye. You can see a white eye. And ears sticking up. Now what's a mongoose doing on the moon? And all the nutters like Joan Evans claim there are no whistleblowers. Now folks, when I first displayed those 4 clues there, about 6 years ago, they hadn't thought of the word pareidolia then. The only one who I was interested in getting an answer from was the idiot, the twat who was always speaking through his astrobrand. So I said to him, come on, are these black shadows caused by rocks or what? If they are, show me where the rocks are. And when he could see there was no rocks casting any shadow, I said, well, tell me what they are. And he said, they're extraterrestrials. I said, what? Extraterrestrials? Now, folks, it wasn't long before he realized how stupid he made himself look. So he deleted that comment of his. But I have still got it somewhere in my records where I replied, what? Extraterrestrials? I could dig that out, folks. Now, folks, that was the first time that the brilliant expat Taffy discovered whistleblowers' clues in the shape of animals or creatures. But there are more, and I've shown you hundreds since that. But there's another one in this photo. Let's take a look at another section of it, shall we? There you are, folks. There's that photo again, showing it's photoshopped in 2008. Now, look at the bottom arrow. I've got an arrow I've inserted at the bottom, and I've chosen pink to make it easy for Birdie Slack to recognize it. I wonder what's on the end of that arrow, folks. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Well, look what we've got here, folks. We've already had 4 shadows, the shape of animals, and we've got one here that's the shape of another animal, a cat. And if you examine this closely, the detail you've got is he's got a head, he's got ears, he's got a nose, he's got a mouth, he's got a chin, he's got a neck, and examining that neck, it's even got an Adam's apple on it. He's got front paws sticking forward, he's lying on the ground, and he's got a tail hanging behind along the ground. Now, what we've had from the nutter Birdie Slack is this is caused by a rock. Well, as I've shown you before, the light is supposed to be going from right to left here, so it can't create a shadow like that. That's a side shadow. It would have to be coming from us across it. And that stupid idiot tried to debunk it by saying nobody else noticed the cat. To which I replied, and nobody else noticed the rat, and nobody else noticed the bird on the back of an armadillo, and nobody else noticed the seahorse, and nobody else noticed the mongoose, and nobody else noticed the Indian totem pole head, and nobody else noticed the winking pig, and nobody else noticed the pink flamingo. And that nutter, just like the other Australian idiot Chisel, thinks this is genuine and taken on the moon. Let me give you a better look at it, brightened up. Here you are, folks. Here's that crop section, brightened up. 3 full settings. And from what we had was nothing but black shadows. Initially, we've now got about 5 different shades of shadows. Now, you won't get that with normal, genuine photos, folks. And it's obvious you can see the shape of the cat. The body, the neck, the head, the ears, the front paws, and the tail at the back. This is how the person made the photo, then darkening it down, they all became black, the same colour. And I'll show you now 2 extra clues in this cropping here. There you are, folks. What you've got here is the cat, and to the left of that you've got a metal ring or bowl, which, as I've shown you, despite this being Apollo 11, it's also under the Apollo 12 lem, proving that they are both the same. And to the right, the blue text and the pink arrow, we've got a spring-loaded door latch. And I'll show you that zoomed up now. There you are, folks. There's that metal ring or dish in Apollo 12. You've got that in Apollo 11 and Apollo 12. Obviously, the stage hands setting up, the stage setup didn't clear up between the filming of 11 and 12. There you are, folks. Here's what you've got stuck in the soil there is a spring-loaded door latch. You can see the flat plate, the rectangular plate. You can see the round barrel, which contains the plunger and the spring, and you can see one of the 2 screw holes. A spring-loaded door latch, folks. Well, what do you think of that so far, folks? Any of you convinced that this photo is genuine and taken on the moon? Because the nutters, Joan Evans, Australia, Chisel 38, Australia, and Cornelius Crew, they all swear 100% that this photo is genuine and was taken on the moon by Neil Armstrong. What morons. Okay, folks. Now, like I said earlier on, I can show you 18 anomalies or 18 errors in this photo, proving it to be 100% fake. I won't be able to cover a lot of them because it'll make the video too long. So I'm going to close this video with one of the most important clues of fakery through the whole photo. And that's proof that Joan Evans, Chisel 38, and Cornelius Crew are mentally insane idiots because they think the light is the sun. But I'm going to prove to you that it's nothing more than a massive spotlight. And it's on a mast. And I'll show you the proof of that now. Okay, take a look at that photo here now. Look at all these arrows. All them arrows are pointing to errors on the photo. However, that's not the lot of them. There's a lot more than that. But what we are going to be concerned with in this photo is the 5 arrows, the top right-hand corner around the light. Now, what those arrows are pointing to is wires, support wires, coming from the center of that light. Support wires that's holding up the massive floodlit mast. And the next photo, I'll show you the mast. There you are, folks. There's the floodlight mast that idiots like Cornelius Crew, Chisel 38, Brian Pop Robson, and Joan Evans all think is the sun. And I'll give you a better look at it now, the next photo. There you are, folks. There's that floodlight mast showing the light at the top, but what you can see coming off the sides are the support wires. Okay, folks, that's what's holding this tall mast up. Now, what you can find is them support wires are in that photo with the lem, and I'll show you them now. There you are, folks. Look what you can see here. That Apollo 11 lem photo, emanating from the light up in the top right-hand corner, you can see a number of sets of wires, the support wires for that vast floodlight mast. They are in sets of 5. Now, when I put this to these NASA numbskulls 6 years ago, the twat who was always speaking through his astrobrant said, they are light rays from the sun. I said, hey, stupid. These lines are in sets of 5. He said, the sun's rays do come in sets of 5. You can see why that stupid prat has gone and left YouTube, can't you? Well, folks, what do you think of that so far? Any of you convinced that that photo is genuine and taken on the moon? Now, that was going to be the end of this video, but I just had a sudden thought. I've got to deliver a present here for the Aussie idiot, the Wicked Witch Joan Evans. Recently, she done a video attacking the brilliant EXPATTAFFY. She tried to discredit me over gear that had sheets thrown over it. Now, I'll show you the photo she started off with her video. Here it is coming up. Here you are, folks. Here's the first photo Joan Evans used in her video. A photo that shows Buzz Aldrin erecting the solar wind instrument. But Joan Evans cheated in this photo, folks. She darkened it to prevent you seeing real evidence of fakery. There you are, folks. Now, for the benefit of the mentally insane idiot Cornelius Crew, the two lights on the left are spotlights, but the grey shaded area around between them spotlights and the lens is a lens flare. Idiot, stupid, mentally insane moron. But look at the pink arrow, it's pointing to something on the lens. What that is the gear, the Mesa gear, unloaded. You see it, Joan? It's unloaded. Now, what Joan Evans don't want you to see, you folks, is that unloaded gear in the photo we have already dealt with. Let's go back to the photo we've already dealt with, shall we? There you are, folks. There's another essential piece of evidence that this is fake. It's just a stage setup. Buzz Aldrin hasn't come out of the LEM yet, and all that gear on the side is unloaded. Now, if Astrobrandt was you, he would say the extraterrestrials unloaded it. Well, what about that, Joan Evans? No wonder you didn't start off with this photo, isn't it? Now, tell us, Joan, who unloaded the gear? Joan, come on. Well, 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 look who we got here. Joan Evans' old friend, the little pink flamingo. Not a cart in the footpad of the LEM, but a little pink flamingo. Now, I wonder what he's doing on the moon without the spacesuit. Now, come on, Pinky. Never mind saying hello to your mama. How about saying hello to your biggest fan, Joan Evans? Joan Evans loves you, Pinky, so come on. Let's have a word for Joan Evans, Pinky. Oh, hello, Joan. I've got a bit of news for you. I'm so brilliant. I can stand on my 2 legs, and I can even stand on 1 leg. But when it comes to the brilliant EXPATTAFFY, Joan, you haven't got a leg to stand on.